Good morning. Out in the shed today, playing with cars. I have been doing that a little bit lately, but just not off camera because there's no point. This stuff is just so mundane and just doing things that just not exciting. Right, it's less clear as possible. A wall, small crossbow, etc. So, when I bought the Cobra, one of the first things that was obvious to me was how low the sump was. I didn't really think it'd be much of a major, being as how these motors are in tens of thousands of cars across the world, probably hundreds of thousands actually. Um, but without putting much thought into it, the ones in America have a rear pickup, which doesn't sound like a major, but it turns out it is because there's cross members and things under the back of the engine in this car. And the low profile sumps that are made are literally only that much lower than the one that that much lower than the standard. So, worst case scenario, yeah, if I did go that way and spend several $1,000s to get it shipped here to New Zealand, and then copious amounts of money getting engineers to refabricate cross members. Yeah, and because in Australia, which this motor is an Australian Falcon motor, they're a front sump on them, and no one makes any aftermarket sumps for them for any fitment for the front sump. I've been emailing companies all over the world trying to find that sort of setup. Apparently not a thing. So I'll put a quick photo of how low the sump is off the ground as the car sits at maximum ride height. Yep, sucks, eh? 27 millimeters or an inch. So, not really feasible. I don't think it's even certifiable to get on the road here. So I've had to go at making my own sump before I spend several $1,000s and get an aftermarket one, and then trying to or getting one custom made at a fabrication shop, which will no doubtly be in the mid thousands. And if I have to go that way, I have to go that way. But I gave it a go myself, and it's not looking too bad. Whether it works, it's a different story, and hopefully it's obvious. Like I'm hoping it just kicks into life. It'll pick all pressure up, no problem. But then, because the configuration of the flat sump with the wings on the side of it, going around corners, things like that, would oil slosh would cause starvation potentially. So what I've done is put a few gates in it, done a little bit of research, put an oil trap system in the sump, and hey, I've found ones since I've done this. I did some more research, and one came up for a Cobra fitment, different engine, with basically identical setup of what I've built. So I'm like, oh, that's convenient. Looks like I've kind of done things right. Just whether it works in practice, because I had to build a new pickup. It was just, oh, I couldn't. I've probably put about 20 hours into building the sump and pickup, and just physical cutting, welding, grinding over and over and over again. Chem setting it because yeah, there's only a couple of tiny pinholes, but trying to chase welds around with a MIG welder because my TIG is still at someone else's house. So I've got a chemical sealant. It's apparently, it better be. They told me it was heat proof. So that's took 4 days to set. That's why I've been pulling my hair out, waiting for this to set. And now it's 4 days later, so I'm gonna give it a go. Man, if you guys have listened to this rant, cheers. So I'll go over in my shithouse glary shed and show you my creation. It's not the prettiest, but looks like it might work. Alright, It's a good 60 mil there, and that's with the plate. If I had to and take this off, there's another 15 millimeters there. Right, let's put this on. Cross my fingers that this works. Otherwise I've thrown away about a week of my life. Alright, as you can tell, I'm in my car. Because everything was going dandy until it didn't. Not a major, just frustrating. Because on my cleanup this morning, I found this O-ring on my bench. I was like, what is that from? I didn't think anything of it. And I know I didn't throw it away. I was like, oh well, could be for something. Don't know why it's here. I haven't seen it before. So I placed it somewhere in my shed. And then found out about an hour later what it was for. And I need it. And it is gone. So I put like half an hour into tearing my shed apart. All it is the O-ring on the dipstick that goes into the sump. So, it's a 40-minute round trip into town to get... Oh, they gave it to me. He laughed. Haha, take it. Would have been going by now, so I would have known if it's going to be a yay or a nay for the oil pressure. Oh, I'm gonna buy a selection of O-rings, a big pack. I'm stocking up on bits and pieces. I've got lots of nuts and bolts, terminals, connectors, all the little bits and pieces, but I don't have O-rings, and I might need an O-ring once every 5 years. Today was one of those times. Like, never mind. Now 20 minutes home. Probably won't even fit because it looked like from memory, it looked like a O-ring that I've got. It looked like it had a bigger outer diameter, so I'm thinking it's not going to work. So what it's going to do is it's going to give what it gets, and I'm going to try it. So yeah. Never mind. That's my rant at the moment. So I'll get back to you soon. That's the important one. That one. Come on, be there, baby. Well, that works. That's quite the relief. It's been going about 9 seconds. I got 90 pound of fuel for oil pressure and no leaks yet that I can see. Oh, that's a relief off my mind. But whether it works under road conditions, this thing's not legal to drive. As I go on a private road, see what happens. So yeah, I'll shut it down and take off the jacks and axle stands and yeah. So far so good. Wow, man, that is some bright ass sun. That was cool. Literally took it for an actual shakedown run. The first drive I did in it the other day, yeah, I said it was my shakedown run, but I literally drove like up and down a flat, straight piece of road, and then I didn't and broke it. And so, wow. So yeah, there's a few smells of oil and things like that around, but you know, when it did pop the sump, but it's probably a paint curing on the sump actually. Yeah. Yeah, there's oil under it still, so that'll be drying off because that's sprayed everywhere. Wisps of rubber smell, so need to tighten up the adjustables. It's got QA1s in it, and they're on their softest setting. I actually went up on the ground, I was like, oh, I was supposed to collect them up a bit.
because I actually thought they were going to be too hard, and then as soon as you drive it, it's actually really soft. So yeah, as far as my first real drive in an AC Cobra, loved it. The seat needs to go back further because I'm squashed in it, and I'm not tall. Gear sticks seems a little bit close, but I've actually got a billet gear stick in the shed that I'm probably going to put on it. And quick, yes, very quick. Still just on a base tune and a rev limiter of 5,000. These motors, there's no torque to them, but they seem to have a power band. Like, you just start to wind up, and it's got some long legs on it. Like, I was just driving past my house before, going the other way, because I've been up and down the road to the service station and back, which is 10 k's each way, and then just down the road and turn around, came home. And I was just cruising past my house. I was like, oh yeah, 2,000 revs at 100, that's not too bad. I looked down, it's like, I'm in fourth. So I clicked down the gear. Oh no, it's about 2.5. And fourth, I clicked down into fifth, and she's just over 1,800 revs at 100k, just idling. So this thing is going to be cheap as chips to run. Definitely, when you feed it to it, it wakes up. Like, it's a lot louder than I thought it would be from the inside. And saying that, it's hard to explain, but the noise doesn't come out from where a car normally does. The mufflers aren't facing back. They're right next to you. Like, that's just there. And the noise goes out either side, so it's a different perspective of noise. I hope it's not too loud to get certified, but it won't be hard to change if it is. And yeah, just every time I go over a bump, I hear a little rattle. I was like, ooh, what was that? Because this is literally the first time it's been driven properly. I found one. I stopped and opened the bonnet. One of the bonnet pins was loose, so I tightened it up by hand and closed it, and then the bonnet won't open because the bonnet. So that's gonna be fun to get to that from underneath. Yeah, good times. And just want to go. Just the big thing that was in my head was like, 'cause I could hear this rattle. I was like, I've never checked the body to chassis mount bolts. I know they're in there, and I've seen them snug down, like, but I've never actually put a spanner on them to come and test. It's like, that's probably the first thing I'm gonna do when I get home. But oh yeah, oil pressure seemed to be good. It's when you're cruising, it's like it got down to about 80, 70 to 80, just cruising when it warmed up, and then I idled at about 40. But yeah, I did go around a couple of corners, but I was having so much fun, I didn't even look down at the gauges. I was just had a big smile on my face, and actually having a bit of time in the seat. Just loved it, loved it. But yeah, it's definitely showing how raw it is, isn't it? Like, I had to put the seatbelt on, click it into the passenger seat, because the seatbelt is just banging against the fiberglass, and all I could hear is this bouncing ringing noise, and it's just this long bling, 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 everywhere you go. And I turned around and I seen it, because I couldn't figure out where it was. And at the base of the roll cage, the roll bar, these little chrome surrounds that seat to hold the rubber down to make it waterproof, and they're not screwed in, and so the metal ring is just vibrating against the pole. Really hope it hasn't ruined the chrome, but if it is, I don't care at the moment. That just literally put the biggest smile on my face. Just a little bit more inspiration to go and go get this certified, so I could just drive this everywhere. And yeah, no, she is low. And found how bad our roads are in New Zealand. A couple of big hits. No damage, obviously, because it's got a cross member. What's the word I'm looking for? Bash plate, for lack of a better term, underneath, and it's only 50 mil off the ground. But I reckon I can change that and get it up to another 40 odd mil up higher. It's just the next thing. The sump was the first thing, and so far it's worked perfectly. As long as it's not leaking. And I couldn't tell you how happy I am that the abomination that I made seems to be working. you know, the expert in me should drop the oil out and see if there's any silver tinges of getting starvation and ruining things. But the redneck in me is just like, nope. So, guess which way I'm going. Other than that, it's just inspiring me to do things like start to build the door trims, and then in the interior. Sorry, I don't want to get at it. That's why I'm just sitting here. And just start finishing mounting things, like the computer's just still sitting on the ground. And it's just raw. There's just bare chassis still, you know. It's just, but man, these things are low. It is ridiculous how low these are. And there's a technique to getting in and out. I don't know how old guys do it. Like, my legs are okay, and I have to bend them like a question mark to get in and out. But yeah, man, it was a long time coming. I did take a little video on the road, so I'll send that to the previous owner, and man, that will put a smile on his face, because I haven't sent him any updates for probably 6 months, because I just, damn life get in the way. And yeah, so this is actually going to get sat in the shed for a little while, weeks or so, while I hit the Cortina and do some long-awaited, overdue, needed, I'd like to say maintenance, but no, let's say upgrades, performance enhancements and things like that, because I want to get that thing ready for the summer that's coming in next year, and I'm going to beat the shit out of that thing. So, yeah. Alright, yeah, I'll actually go in the shed and show what the plans are. And yeah, mean. Right, so next couple of weeks' plans. Pretty obvious there. One bigger exhaust. Because, that's 2.5, everything's 2.5. Oh, and that's what I forgot. That was crap. Six of these. So it's all going to be B-clamped. So everything can be changed, chopped and changed to make louder and quieter. And one billet gear stuck there, which there's actually another brand new one's already in the Cortina, but I don't like it, so I'm going to probably try this one in the Cortina, and the one in the Cortina is probably going to find its way into the Cobra, because it will lean forward because it's a bit close. But this, 2.5 inch, because currently, believe it or not, the Cortina is one single one of these, 2.25 front to back. Yeah, that needs to be changed. Yeah. Hey, it goes fine, but she's definitely put quite the restriction. So that's what's in there, which I don't mind, but it sits a little bit far back and a little bit low, so the other one should just about bolt straight in there and be perfect. So that's the plan. Oh, that doesn't look too bad, I'm not gonna lie. I like that. That was very nice to drive, just a little bit rattly. So I need to get the rattles sorted out of it. Right, so I wasn't even going to video this, but I don't know, could make it some part of the video. What I'm doing is, because I smashed this big hole in the sump, I am shortening the sump. This is my line. I approximately want to go about 70 to 75 mil down, and then this is going to be this will be section will be cut out to about 40 mil cut there. If it's not, I might just windage it and just drill a big hole all the way through here. Maybe we'll see how it goes. For oil retention and stops a bit of slosh. And I'm putting wings on it at about 100 mil, 100 by 40, to accommodate for all the volume I'm losing. So that's my plan. And so this is my rough template. Well, there's not even a template. This is it's pretty straightforward what I'm doing. My pan is 200 mil wide. That's the pan. 100 either side of it. fold there at 40mm, so that's a 90 degree there, and then a 90 degree there, so it will come up and across. And this is too long, so it will interfere there. That's the whole plan, is to have, because it's easier to cut it off than it is to cut it back on. So I've just got to make up. My next plan is to try and make a very short makeshift folder out of a couple of pieces of angle iron, just a couple of vise, and then just make it. I just got to tack on a bolt as a hinge point, and just fold it, and then take it from there and do some more. I'm not gonna lie, this is a design on the fly as I go on making it. Right, believe it or not, this took about 5 hours to make. Here's my standard one, and here's my one. Hence the lowered sump. Now, see how beautiful this is? I made one. I hand made my flange. There's three welds in here. Where there's 3 pieces of steel joined between here and here, with a perfect 22.5mm circumference to fit into the hole, because an O-ring sits there to seal it, and significantly shorter. All I have to do is source one of these and put it here. But yes, Alright, here we go. It's 100mm to the base of the sump, 90 to the belly pad. So what a difference. Just got that thing hanging down, which I can take a lot of that, and I probably will, but not today.